Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the dreaded D-Rose report. Sorry about yesterday's report. I got busy in here in the store and I had it done, but I'm going to redo it. And I didn't get a chance to upload the thing, but here we go with some new stuff. Now this is part one, by the way. I'm going to do two parts to catch up. In an interview with ESPN.com to promote his new show, Garage Mahal, got it? Anyway, on the DIT cable network, former WWE WCW champion Bill Goldberg says he's open to wrestling one final match at next year's WrestleMania from Atlanta, Georgia. He said, it's not something that I'm seeking out to do at 43 years old, but you know, WrestleMania is next year in Atlanta. Hulk Hogan and I put 43,000 people in the Georgia Dome with 3-day notice, and I got a fairly big following in Atlanta, Goldberg said, and it is not out of the realm of a possibility. I'd say let's go for it. Goldberg recently began working with WWE again on a new deal for WWE, and his likeness for merchandise, toys appearing in WWE video games, and you know, they'll probably do some t-shirts and other things, who knows. He said he'd put himself back into the spotlight so his young son can see him in action. The doors are kind of open, he said. I think he's not sticking his neck out too far, because if he says, okay, I'm going to do it, and he hadn't gotten the price down yet, he's afraid he won't get what he really wants on negotiations. Said if it leads to something else, it's a wonderful day, Bill Goldberg said. If not, I'm totally content with the way I went, and I'll be able to, you know, get merchandise out, and there's not only, you know, saturates the fans, but I hope there's been a lot of people wondering where my merchandise is. The reason I want to do it this way is for my boy. Just trying to be a good father. Rena Lesnar, or Rena, don't look like Rena to me, but anyway, Rena Merrill, remember her? Well, Sable anyway. Rena Lesnar, former WWE Sable and wife of UFC champion Brock Lesnar, is pregnant again. I didn't have a thing to do with it, I promise. Damn it. Anyway, she's 4 months pregnant with her third child, a baby boy. This will be her second child with Brock, and congratulations to her. And speaking of that, if you look on my channel on YouTube, the D-Rose Video 1 channel, you'll see Rena, or Sable, and myself with my arms around Rena. And that's really her. It's not Goldberg with, Gold Dust with a wig on. It's Rena. It's Sable then. Anyway, TNA Wrestling is heading to the extreme side, I guess. There's been talk of starting another faction in TNA. That's all they need is another faction, and there won't be any single wrestlers around. The faction in discussed would consist of numerous ECW originals. ECW alumni currently on the roster are RVD, Rhino, Raven, Dr. Stevie, Taz, Brother Ray, Brother Devon. There's also been rumors of Tommy Dreamer possibly signing with TNA. While this remains in discussion, there's no definite decision on whether or not to go through with the faction. Hadn't that been done before too? An invasion or whatever you want to call it? Russo must be getting burnt out. He's coming back with flashbacks now of creative. Anyway, TNA sold about 2,200 tickets for their lockdown pay-per-view in St. Charles. WWE Hall of Famer Steve Austin is set to star in an upcoming DVD and Blu-ray movie, The Stranger. Anyways, a film that's straight to DVD and we're going to be hitting the stores around June 1st from Anchor Bay Entertainment. The synopsis for the film reads, synopsis is, well, you know what it is. Anyway, they took his job, they took his family, they took his memory, and now one man is taking it all back, one body at a time. Oh, let me see who this is. Goofy people. There he's calling again. Hang on. Try it again. Anyway, I was talking about Steve Austin. Anyway, the pro wrestling legend Steve Austin stars as a man with no name, no memory, absolutely nothing to lose, but when he finds himself being hunted by both FBI and the Russian mob. This nemesis decided to fight back. Pursuit cannot stop him. Torture will not break him, and every beating bullet, betrayal, he'll remember another piece of horror that takes him away in his career and his family and his identity. Now he's puzzled and nearly complete. One man is about to take his future back, ending the whole bunch of futures for other people. There's a couple of stars in there which I've never heard of. Somebody was on Flags of Our Fathers and somebody in Eureka. Anyway, it's an action thriller about collateral damage, stone cold vengeance, and double-crossing killing machines known as the Stranger. Woo! WWE is going to be digitalizing a lot of their tapes this week. I don't know if I mentioned that the other day or not. Anyway, this is being done to make the library more accessible to WWE TV network, where if they wanted to put up something on the screen real quick, they can, you know, to win, they can find it real quick by typing in the name. Boom, there the film clip is. Anyway, WWE Batista is beginning filming a new movie called Killing Karma, which starts April 13th in New Orleans. Alright, Kevin Nash, Eric Young is announced for TNA's Lockdown pay-per-view and at last night's TNA Impact taping, I guess, which is the final show before the pay-per-view. TNA still has some matches to announce, but there's what the Lockdown card looks like so far is TNA World Title match, Pope versus AJ Styles. Lethal Lockdown is Team Flair taking on Team Hogan. Flair's team, Sting, Desmond Wolfe, Robert Roode, James Storm. Hogan's team is Abyss, Jeff Jarrett, Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy. I don't know whether Hogan or Flair, either one's going to wrestle or not. That's just their team, so I take that with a grain of salt on whether we're going to see them wrestle. TNA X Division title is going to be Shannon Moore versus Doug Williams. Mr. Anderson is going to be taking on Kurt Angle, and Kevin Nash taking on Eric Young, which I don't see too much of a match right there. Dixie Carter announced on her last night that TNA signed Brian Kendricks and Christy Heyman to a multi-year contract. You know, there's a lot of people that I would have really signed before them to a multi-year. But anyway, she wrote on her Twitter account, signed Brian Kendricks, Christy Heyman to multi-year contracts. Love Christy in her new role and is exciting to see what Kendricks brings to the X Division. She don't know. I wouldn't have signed anybody unless I knew. The episode of NBC's Chuck featuring Steve Austin will air again this coming Monday night. Trent Beretta, Kalen Croft are now using the name of Dude Busters on SmackDown. Whoa! This is the same name they used with Kurt Hawkins in Florida Championship Wrestling. Triple H missed another WWE live event on the European tour last night in Glasgow, Scotland. Dave Meltzer notes that Triple H is suffering from a neck injury and is likely why he wasn't on the current tour. Don't have any other details on that. Christopher Daniels is now accepting independent bookings as Curryman after being released from TNA. Daniels will return as Curryman at an upcoming tournament in Philadelphia. And as of this writing, Daniels is still listed on the TNA roster. TNA has recently added Chelsea to the roster also. And this past Thursday's TNA replay on Spike did a 0.56 rating, 758,000 viewers, which is probably better than what they would have done with the movie they had planned for, you know, that night. Hey, this is part 1. Let me give you a part 2 in just a little while. Thanks for clicking. I gotta go.